free-for-all. This is The Prisoner. There is only one season, so this is a season 1 episode. This one is pretty neat. We're going to review it using my space system: story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 and 2. 2 is the best you can get in any category. There are spoilers if you're concerned about that. If you haven't watched The Prisoner, you really should be watching it. It's on Tubi, so check it out for free. All right. There is elections happening in this one. So I'm going to give the storyline a 1.5. I like this one. Why am I not giving it a 2 out of 2? I'm only not giving it a 2 out of 2 because you know that A, if number 6 wins the election, he's not going to affect any change. Or B, he's just not going to win through some trickery or something. Those are really the only 2 outcomes, and you can see what happens. But I like that they're trying different ways. So there's actually 2 new number 2s in this one, and there's a lady number 2, so that's kind of neat. And I'll get to the character section in a moment. But so there's elections going on, and number 6 is running against number 2. And I love how they have his comments, and so they number 6, we want to interview you. What do you think about this? And what do you think about that? And then they're writing stuff down, and all of a sudden the paper's printed. Here's number 6's comments, and here's his platform and all that. You're like, but he didn't do it. He just said it now. But because it doesn't matter, they write all this in advance, so it's all ready to go. That was genius. And there's people already voting for him. It's like there's campaign posters. Like I didn't even. They're already created. Love this kind of stuff. I love the weirdness of The Prisoner and all this kind of. There's always a sort of like this like unease about it. Like you're like, yeah, we know something's weird, but you're always like, I don't know, like, how's he going to get out of this, right? So great storyline. For the pacing, I'm also going to give it a 1.5 because we have an idea of what the outcome is going to be. It's not nail-biting suspense, but it's pretty damn good anyways, and you are very curious, and you're always intrigued as to what's going on and how they're going to play this. Like, how is number 2 going to mess this? Like, what is he going to do? Because there's always a new number 2, or usually there is. But then there's a super twist with the girl being number 2, and you're like, oh my God, she's number 2. So that was kind of fun. Yeah, so for the artistry, I'm going to give it a 2 as well. I'm giving them all 2. Again, there's not massive effects, but there is a good boat chase, and he beats up a couple of guys and steals a boat. That's kind of neat. So there's a little bit more action in this one than normal. I love the balls, the big, huge beach ball thingies. Those are neat. And the town just looks so cool to me. If it wasn't messed up, I'd live in that town. If it wasn't like brainwashing or whatever. I already have a Tom Baker scarf, the full length one, and I have a half length Tom Baker scarf that I can wear normally, which I do. I wore it yesterday. I got to get a number 2 scarf. Got to get me a Prisoner number 2 scarf because I want to be number 2. All right. So everything looks great here. I love the costumes. I got to get that jacket too with the white stripe. Oh man, so good. So great stuff. Music is good, of course, all that thing. Characters, I'm giving it a 2 out of 2 for the characters. Number 6 is friggin' on fire in this episode. I like number 2 in this one, but I actually like the girl a lot. So I was happy that she was a number 2 because she doesn't speak English and she's being all weird, and you're like, okay, something's off with this girl. Like, who is this? And then ending up being number 2 is really fun. I thought that was kind of cool. I like the just like, the generic people in town. There's the guy who's always playing chess and stuff. You start to recognize people. Oh, there's that guy, and that's kind of fun. I'm trying to see if there's any other notes here. I do like how they've got the other languages, so that shows that there are other languages being spoken here. I love how they have that one character who's like a civil servant. He's a former civil servant, and they're like, oh yeah, he adapted immediately. It's like, yeah, we just adapted that guy in 1 second. So yeah, that he was great too. I liked one thing I wanted to mention with the artistry too that I noted down was there's a part where he goes in to number 2, and then they start to sort of brainwash him a little bit. And there's a great thing where you're seeing like a shadow of his profile, and there's like these ramps going into his head, and there's like, they're trying to do like a truth test, and there's like a little circle and a cube, and they're moving closer and further away from his mind depending on if he tells the truth or not when they ask these certain questions. That was pretty neat. That was part of the artistry thing I wanted to mention. Enjoyment factor, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 2. I think this is a 9 out of 10. I love this episode. I love that number 2 wins. And then he's like quickly like, guys, I've shut everything down. You can escape. You're free. You're free to go. And nobody goes anywhere because they're just, brainwashed or whatever. Or they're either brainwashed or they want to be there because they're there to do a job. Yeah, overall, man, awesome episode. Again, another banger. I mean, this show is basically, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Going by my memory, this is my second time through. Going by my memory, I can't think of an episode that I didn't like, so they're all going to be high marks. I'm basically just doing this video to talk about The Prisoner. It's not going to really be a critical analysis of everything. I haven't seen it enough times to really get deep down and analyze every episode to tell you all the nuances. Plus, I'm trying to keep these videos 5 to 6 minutes long. I don't want to make it longer than that. So that's it, everybody. Let me know your comments on this episode. Loved it. It was great. That's it. Be seeing you.